Okay, let's start. Okay, let's talk about the original sine graph first. Secondary school. This is AMath. Only AMath required to learn Trigo Graph. So let's talk about the basic y equals to sine x. Later then I'll talk about those graphs whereby you need to have different amplitude, different period, and then got shift as well. So let's start with the basic, which is the y equals to sine x. Okay, so first you need to have three information. Three information. So first I need to know what's the amplitude. Usually at the side you will have y equals to a sine bx plus c. So actually by comparing, I need to know what's my a, b, and c. So a is the amplitude. So amplitude is a. Okay, thanks for the light, Joy. Okay, and then after that, period. If let's say it's in degree, you will take 360 degree divided by b. Or if they want you to draw the time graph as in is in terms of radian, then it will be 2 pi over b. Okay, the shift will be c. Hello, yes bro, hi. Okay, so this is the three information that I need. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, so my amplitude equals to the number in front of sine. For this case is 1, so the amplitude is just 1. Okay, the period for this case, let's say I'm going to draw for let's say I'm going to draw from x to 0 to 360 degree. Okay, that means I want to draw degree. So I will take 360 degree divided by the number in front, the coefficient of x. So in this case is 1. So 360 divided by 1, which will be 360. It means that in 360 degree, you only see one cycle. Okay, one cycle. Next, the shift. So for this case, you can see that sine x alone, there's no number behind. You don't have plus 1, plus 2, or minus 1, minus 2. So in this case, the shift is 0. So find out these three information already, and then find out you need to draw until where. They ask you to draw up to from 0 to 360. It means that they want you to draw for one cycle. Then now we are ready to draw. Okay? So let's see. That one I will do 13 and 16. I will do it on Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, 16 March, 8 PM to 9:30. I will do the logarithm and exponential graph. Okay? So coming Wednesday, that means I will do logarithm, exponential graph, and surds. Today, just do Trigo graph. Okay? Purely Trigo graph. Okay, so now let's draw. So I'm going to draw the vertical axis first. Okay, because I need to draw from 0 to 360. So we can just draw hello. Hi, dance. Hello. Okay. So I'm going to draw this, and because I only want to draw one cycle, 360. So what I'm going to do is just mark out 360. This is for one cycle, and this is of course from 0 degree. Then what you need to do is you need to cut out 4 parts. Cut into 4 parts. So usually what I do is I cut half first. So 360 cut half will be 180. So what I'm going to do is so this one is 0 to, I should have used a nice number. Wait, let me just redraw. Okay, I'm going to use 0 2, 4, let's go 8. Let's go 8. 7 and 8, this is 8. So I know half will be 4. Another half will be 2. So here will be 6. Okay, you need to cut out 4 parts. 4 parts, Then after that, this is 360 degree. This is x, and we know that this is y. Next is the, let's talk about the amplitude. The amplitude is 1. So it means that the maximum is 1, the minimum is negative 1. So I'm going to use this as my 1, this as negative 1. 360, so here is 180 degree. Divide by 2 again, this is 90. 180 plus 90, so it's 270 degree. Okay, so this one, for this case, there's no shift. That means my middle line is my x-axis. So now we are ready to draw. So I always draw the 5 critical points for each cycle. 5 critical points. So you know that sine graph, it looks like that. That means it starts from 0 first. So start from 0, mark a point. Okay, then you go up to the maximum. You go up to the maximum. So you go to 90 degree, you go up to the maximum at 90 degree. So you up. You don't have to draw the dot dot dot. Just mark out the maximum. You see, you come back to 0 at 180 degree. So you go to 180 and mark out the x. Okay, and then after that, now you go down to the minimum. So you go down to the minimum at 270 degrees. So mark out this one, mark out 1 point, and go back to 0 at 360. So this is what I call my 5 critical points. 0, maximum, 0, minimum, and 0. So once we have the 5 critical points, now you are ready to draw the shape. So sine graph, you know it looks like that. Okay. Okay, so we need to. Then after that, it will be here, here, and here. This one I need to shift. Okay. So this is how you plot the sine graph. With all the critical points, it's easier for you to draw. So this is the normal sine graph. And of course, lastly, you need to label that this is y equals to sine x. Okay, y equals to sine x. Okay, so this is the original for y equals to sine x. So now let's increase the difficulty now, whereby they ask you to draw for 4 minus 3 sine 2x. So you can see that the shift, the period change, and the amplitude also change. So to draw this, first you have to find out what is the information first. So I need to find out what is my amplitude. Okay, amplitude, you have to see the number in front of the sign, which is 3. But do you notice that it is minus 3? But take note, amplitude is the thickness, so it's always 3. Amplitude is 3. But because it's minus 3, what I want you to do is at the side you put a bracket. This is a flip graph, flip sine graph. So what is flip sine graph? Our original sine graph is this, like that. So flip means that you go to flip. It means it become this. You understand? When there is a minus, that means it's negative, that means you flip your graph. So instead of 0, maximum, 0, minimum, 0, it will be 0, minimum, 0, maximum, and 0. Understand? Okay, so put a flip here to remind yourself that, okay, this is a flip graph. Okay, next. Find out what is the period. For this case, they want me to draw for radian. So period, remember just now I mentioned, for period, you will have to take, in terms of radian, you take 2 pi divided by b. 2 pi divided by b. So I will take 2 pi divided by the number in front of x, which is 2 for this case. So 2 pi divided by 2 will give you pi. It means that one cycle is pi. In pi, you only see one cycle. And for this case, they only ask you to draw from 0 to pi. It means I only need to draw one cycle. If at this side, they tell you to draw from 0 to 2 pi, and yet my period is pi, means that I need to draw 2 cycles. You understand? Okay? Need to be very careful that this is the range whereby they want you to draw your graph. It has nothing to do with your period. This has nothing to do with your period. Only the number in front of the x has something to do with your period. Okay, so period will be 2 pi divided by 2, which I get pi. Next, my shift. Shift graph. Shift will be a 4. It means that my graph will be shifted up by 4. So, put down the information. So now we are ready to plot the graph. I will use pen because if I use pencil, I'm afraid you cannot see. But of course, in actual, you all should use pencil to draw your graph so that you can erase. So later, pardon me if my shape go a bit haywire. So I will use pen so that you are able to see. So let me see. My amplitude is 3. So that's my middle line will be 4. See, my middle line is 4, means that 4 plus 3, my maximum is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. So I will be a graph whereby it's 1 to 7. So I know that I need my so-called x-axis to be slightly lower. Okay. And I need more positive y. So that's it like that. So I'm going to draw this as my 4. So draw the shift line first, which is a 4. Horizontal dotted line. This is 4. This is 4. And I'm going to draw same thing, one cycle. So I'm going to use 8 cm. My 8 is here. 6, 7, 8, 8 here. After that 4. After that 2 and 6. My ruler gone. So this one you will put as x. And because once you are supposed to draw up to pi, and just nice one cycle is pi, so this is pi. And divide by 2, in terms of pi, you got to write pi over 2. Divide by 2 again means it's 1/4, right? So it's pi over 4. So this is 0. And this one, sometimes students, hey, this one, what? Because you got to put in terms of pi, right? So the trick is, since you know that one interval is 1/4, this one is half, right? So you will take half plus 1/4. And it give you 3/4. So that means this is 3 pi over 4. Okay. Okay, now let's find out. Because my amplitude is 3, so 4 plus 3, we will have 7. So I'm going to assume here it's 1, so that I got a little bit space. This is my 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. 4 plus 3 is 7. So of course I need it to be around the same. So this is 1.4. So this will be my 7. Okay, so you can see that the amplitude is 3. From here to here, this is 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. So this is the amplitude. So now you know what's your maximum, you know what is your minimum. Okay, and you know the so-called new middle line is 4. And you have all the marking for the interval below already. So now we are ready to plot the graph. And don't forget, you see I put a flip here. So don't forget that we are supposed to draw the flip sine graph. So let's plot our 5 critical points. 5 critical points. So 0. Take note that your new 0 now is at 4. So mark out 1 point here. Go down to minimum. You go down to minimum, which is 1 at pi over 4. Mark out 1 point here. You go back to 0 at pi over 2. Right? Now it go up to maximum at 3 pi over 4. So these are a bit far, so I just use a ruler. So I need to go 7, so it's around here lah. Okay? Yeah. So mark out the point. Then it come back to the 0 at pi. Right? 5 critical point. 0 minimum, 0 maximum, and 0. So now we are ready to draw the shape. Okay? So it will be this, and this. Okay lah. Label x-axis, y-axis. Label this is y equals to 4 minus 3 sine 2x. Okay, do you see how I draw this? So I repeat. First, find out what's the amplitude. Amplitude is the number in front of the sine or cosine. You can see that it is 3. And this is minus 3, so it's a flip graph. So it's not a normal sine graph, it's the flip sine graph. Next, the period is, because they want us to draw in terms of radians, so we will take 2 pi divided by the coefficient in front of x. So it is pi. So then they ask me to draw for 0 to pi, means I only need to draw 1 cycle. So my shift for this case is 4. So I know my new x-axis is 4. So now we are ready to plot the graph. The first thing you always draw is the new x-axis. So your new x-axis is 4. So what I did was I draw a dotted line, horizontal line, y equals to 4. Okay, and find out what's my maximum and minimum. Amplitude is 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. Next, of course, is the x-axis. I need to draw for 1 cycle. They asked me to draw to pi. So you draw pi. Divide by 2, pi over 2. Divide by 2 again, pi over 4. 1 interval is 1 quarter. So I take half plus 1 quarter, I get 3 quarters. So I write it as 3 pi over 4. And because I remember that I need to draw flip graph, so now I plot my 5 critical point, 0, minimum, 0, maximum, and 0. Then you can draw the shape now. Okay? So this is how you draw this graph. Okay, later we will have few more graph. I will do one more sine graph. Okay, now they ask, state the range of values of k for which 4 minus 3 sine 2x equals to k has 2 roots for 0 to pi. So look at this one. So after that, you can see that equals to k means you need to draw a horizontal line. Okay, you don't have to announce that you're leaving, you can just leave the channel. Thank you very much. Okay, so equals to k means it's a horizontal line. So in other words, they are trying to ask that what horizontal line when I draw in this graph that I will have 2 solutions. Okay, so you see, if let's say for example, my horizontal line is y equals to 1. Okay, y equals to 1. If it's y equals to 1, you can see that it will cut at 1 point, only have 1 solution. But you see, if I go up my line horizontal, now I will have 2 solutions. 2 solution, 2 solution, 2 solution, 2 solution. Then when I come to here, I will have 3 solutions. Right? 1, 2, 3. 3 solutions. Then I go further up again, back again, I got 2 solutions. 2 solutions, 2 solutions, until I reach here again, I back to 1 solution. So what are the range whereby it will give you 2 solutions? So you can see that actually is in between 0 and pi over 2. So I will know that it will be, my x is between 0 and pi over 2. And take note that I cannot put 0. Wait, no, not the x-axis, it's the 1. Wrong. Okay, so it should be the y. Okay, sorry, horizontal line. So 1 cannot, 1 will be 1 point. So it must be more than 1. So that means it must be more than 1. Okay, more than 1. See. Then until 4, only 4 cannot, right? So it can be less than 4. So it can be less than 4. Okay, then now after that, more than 4 and less than 7 also can accept. So it will be these 2 range of horizontal line will give us 2 solutions. You understand? you can do it this way, okay, or you can write that your K, because the Y is the horizontal line, so it means that the K is between 1 and 7, and then you can say that K cannot be 4. You understand? That means when I draw my horizontal line between 1 to 7, only the 4 will give me 3 solutions, the 1 will give me 1 solution, the 7 will give me 1 solution. Anything in between will give me 2 solutions. Understand? Okay, so let's draw some more different kind of a sine graph. Let me see. So now if let's say I want to draw for y is equals to 3 sine half x. Okay, let's have minus 2. And I want to draw from x 0 to 2 pi. Okay, let's draw this graph. Sine graph. Okay, the shift change, the amplitude still 3. Okay, maybe the amplitude I change a bit. Let's change it to 4. Change it to 4. So let's find out the information first. First, amplitude. Can someone tell me what's the amplitude? What is the period? And what is the shift? What is the amplitude? What is the period and what is the shift? Okay, amplitude is 4. Good. The period. Okay, because it's in front of the sine, which is 4. So the amplitude is 4. How about the period? Okay, actually this one, let's draw up to 4 pi. Okay, let's be ambitious. I'm going to draw up to 6 pi. Okay, amplitude 4, correct. How about my period? Yes, 4 pi. Okay, remember our period is 2 pi divided by b. It's forever 2 pi divided by b or 360 divided by b. So in this case, we want to draw radians. So I'm going to take 2 pi divided by half. In other words, divide by 0.5. And you will get 4 pi. So it means that I will see one cycle in 4 pi. And they want me to draw up to 6 pi. It means that I need to draw 1.5 cycle. Okay? So see, I purposely put different numbers, so I want you to know that this range is nothing to do with your period. Okay? I know my one cycle is 4 pi. I want to draw up to 6 pi means I need to decide to draw 1.5. If just now I only draw from 0 to 2 pi, it means that I only draw half a cycle. So now we know we need to draw 1.5 cycle. Next, what is the shift? Okay, what is my shift? This should be easy. Thanks for sharing. Share to your classmate who always don't know how to draw Trigo graph. Anyone? Yes. Picky poo poo pants. Our shift is -2. Okay, -2. So don't get a shock that why is it that it's negative 2. It means that your graph is shifted down by 2. Shifted down by 2. So all you need to do is, now let's plot. Okay, again, I'm going to use pen, but you should use pencil. Okay, so let's do it. So I'm going to draw this. I know minus 2 plus 4 is 2, minus 2 minus 4 is minus 6. So I know that I need more negative. So in this case, I'm going to draw this one slightly up a bit. And don't forget that we are supposed to draw 1.5 cycle. So we can draw this longer. But please never attempt to straight away draw 1.5 cycle. I always draw 1 cycle at a time. For this case, it's 1.5. So I'm going to draw 1 cycle first. Then after that, I'm going to settle the half cycle later. So let's mark out. I'm going to mark out here. Okay. And then this will be 4 pi. Then after that, half of it. So half will be 2 pi. Another half. So this one is pi. So this is 0. And we know one interval is pi. So 2 pi plus pi, this is just 3 pi. Let's draw 1 cycle at a time. So I know behind I need to plot some more, but later then we draw. So now let's see. Our shift is negative 2. So I'm going to put here, this is minus 2. So let's draw our new x-axis first. Okay, so draw the dotted horizontal line. Okay, our amplitude is 4. So minus 2 plus 4 is 2. So here will be the maximum. The minimum will be minus 2 minus 4. So it will go to minus 6. So minus 4 and this one will be minus 6. So let me extend this a bit. 4, 4. Yes. Make sure you see here is 4, here is 4. You need to make sure the thickness of your amplitude is the same. If you get one small and one fat, later you will see that why your graph looks so ugly, because it's not proportional. It's not proportional. So now we are ready to plot. Okay? Plot the first cycle first. Okay, so this is sine graph and this is a normal sine graph, nothing to do with the flip. So let's start from the 0. Mark out 0, that means my new x-axis, which is here. 0, it go up to the maximum at pi. So you come here, go to 2, mark out 1 point. It come back to 0 at 2 pi. So mark out another point. It go down to minimum at 3 pi. So you will mark out 1 point here. Okay, then you go back to 0 at 4 pi. So now we are ready to draw the shape. So it will be looking this way, this way, this way, and this way. Okay, beautiful sine graph. Then don't forget we are supposed to draw up to 6 pi. So now let's continue our half cycle. Half cycle only need 2 intervals. So just take 4 pi plus another pi, which will give me 5 pi. 5 pi plus another pi will give me 6 pi. Okay, and then this one we can actually no need so long. I can just now say this is x. Okay, so now let's continue to draw. So 0, go up to maximum at 5 pi, come back to 0 at 6 pi. Okay, this is half cycle only. So you will draw from here to here, and then after that from here to here. And we are done. So we have drawn 1.5 cycle, 1.5 cycle. Okay, mark out all the new x-axis, your maximum, your minimum, and of course, lastly, label this as y equals to 4 sine half x minus 2. Not that tough to draw Trigo graph, right? So always find out what is your amplitude, your shift, your period. Decide how much you need to draw depending on the range that they give you. Of course, you need to know whether is it in degree or radian. And then, of course, plot out the x-axis and y-axis. And then after that, most important is always draw 1 second at a time. Okay? Because if not, it will be too many things. Okay, so let's move on to cosine graph. Okay, sine graph and cosine graph is similar. So I'm going to draw the original first, then after that we do the additional stuff. So same thing, let's say I want to draw from x. Okay, I put 0 to 2 pi. Okay, 0 to 2 pi. Same thing, okay, it will be, the amplitude is 1. Okay, amplitude is 1. Okay, the period for this case, I'm going to use 2 pi divided by 1, so it's 2 pi. And then my shift for this case is 0. The only difference is cosine graph doesn't start from 0, it started from maximum. Okay, but the concept is exactly the same like how we draw our sine graph. So let me draw my axis first. So let's plot the horizontal line. Okay. My y and my x later then I draw. So this is 0. So I'm going to draw up to 2 pi, and my 1 cycle is also 2 pi. So maybe I put here 2 pi, half of it, pi, another half, pi over 2, and this is 3 pi over 2. Period is 1, amplitude is 1, so maximum it's 1, minimum is -1. So same thing, I'm going to draw out my 5 critical points. The only difference is it doesn't start from 0. Cosine graph, it's like that. So it starts from maximum. So mark out the first point at my maximum, then it go to 0 at pi over 2, then it go to the minimum at pi, it go back to 0 at 3 pi over 2, and it go back to maximum at 2 pi. So okay, sine graph for cosine graph, right? Many students have issue drawing this shape because this one they always draw it like that. But you must understand that cosine, this must have a little bit of arc. So how are we going to draw this arc? So the trick to know how to draw this arc is you have to visualize that there is another arc the other side. You understand? So it's like, okay, it's like, I draw like that. Then after that, you just visualize that you're going to draw this part. Of course, but we only draw this side. So this is how you draw the arc, by visualizing that there is another half on the other side. Another harm, you understand? It's like, you know, our usual harm for draw sine graph is like that. So now the cosine graph actually start from like that. So when you start from drawing here, you need to visualize that, oh, actually there's another half here. So then you will know how to draw the shape. You understand? So over here, same thing. So I will visualize that, oh, like that. Then after that, I will turn down like that. See? Okay, because I visualize that there's another half here. And then after that, you continue and then you draw like that. Like that. And then you see, this one a bit difficult, right? So again, you visualize that you're going to draw this and then you come down here. So it will be like that. Okay, so this is how you draw the arc on the beginning and on the ending. So critical, max 0, minimum 0, maximum. And then after that, label this is y equals to cosine x. Okay, so this is how you draw for cosine graph. Okay, let me take a look at something first. Okay. Now, let's come and draw this one. So I'm going to rewrite. So y equals to 2 cosine. Take note that x over 2 is actually half x. So you can write this as half x. And then after that, minus 1. They asked us to draw from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so our amplitude. Same thing, number in front of cosine, so we know it's 2. Our period, I'm going to take 2 pi divided by half. So 2 pi divided by half will give me 4 pi. So we know one cycle is 4 pi. And you see, they asked us to draw only up to 2 pi. Means I only draw half a cycle for the cosine graph. Okay, then now the shift. So the shift is -1. Okay, so now we are ready to plot the graph. So -1 and 2 and okay, that's very. I'm going to draw. First, draw our shift, which is -1. So I'm going to put here as -1. Okay, this one, let me draw a bit lower. Because, let me see, 1 minus 1 plus 2 is so small. Okay, I can. So, amplitude is 2, so minus 1 plus 2, so it's 1. Minus 1 minus 2, so it's 3. So it'll be here. Minus 3. So let's draw our imaginary horizontal line first. So -1. Draw the horizontal line. This is y and this is x. I'm going to draw up to 2 pi only, and it's only half a cycle because one cycle is 4 pi. So you will just mark out 2 pi. And you don't have to cut into 4 parts anymore. You only need to cut into 2 parts. So it's only 2 pi and pi. Okay, and then after that 0. Okay, next I need to, this is a cosine graph and there's no flip, normal cosine graph, so it starts from the maximum. So it starts from the maximum, it comes down to 0 at pi, it goes down to the minimum at 2 pi. So I need to mark out here. Okay, so it will look like that. So this one, it will be this shape, and then after that this will go down this way. Because we only need to draw half cycle, the other half is like that and like that. Correct now? Like that and like that. But we have no need to draw that. So this one we only need to draw half a cycle. So lastly, label this as y equals to 2 cosine half x minus 1. Done. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Wait, not this one. Let's draw one more cosine graph. Here, Okay, so this one is y equals to 3 minus 2 cosine 4x. They asked me to draw from x between 0 to 360 degrees. So they want to know what's the maximum and minimum. So let's find out the amplitude first. Amplitude for this case, again, is 2, but you see there's a minus. So write 2, but put here flip. Just to remind yourself, this time round, I'm going to draw a cosine graph. It's not going to be this direction. Wrong. This is sine graph. Okay, it's supposed to be, this is normal sine or cosine. You need to draw flip. Flip means that you will draw this direction. Okay, you will draw this direction. Next, period. Period, you will take 2 pi, sorry, this is 360. So you take 360, divide by the number in front of the x, which is 4. So this time round, the period is 90 degrees. Okay, so this one period is 90 degrees. They ask me to draw up to 360, means that they want you to draw for 4 cycles. Oh, this one never asks us to draw. This question only asks us to determine and just state the amplitude. They never even ask us to draw. Okay, but later I will just add on so that I can show you, so that you know how it looks like. Okay, so period is 90. Again, we have to look at the shift now. The shift is 3. The shift is 3. So they ask to determine the maximum or minimum. So the shift is 3, period is 2. So we know that the maximum is 3 plus 2, so it's 5. The minimum is 3 minus 2, so it's 1. So maximum is 5 and minimum is 1, 5. And then part 2, they ask you to state, they say state the amplitude. Actually, we already have it at the top. So actually, amplitude is equals to 2 and the period is equals to 90 degrees. Okay, so let's draw our Trigo graph. Okay, this question never asked to draw, so I just draw for your knowledge only. And this one, the bad news is I need to draw 4 cycles. This is maximum 5, that means I need it lower. Okay. So my shift is 3. So I'm going to just put 3 dotted. Okay, 3 plus 2, so it's 5. I'm going to just put here and here, which is 1. This is 3. 4 cycles. I'm going to draw 1 cycle at a time. Okay, so this is 0, 90. So see here, we're going to mark out 90. So I'm going to draw here. Let's make sure that I have enough space. 1, 2, 3. Too much, right? So it will be, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at least I can draw 4 cycles. Okay, so draw 1 cycle at a time. 90 degrees is 1 cycle. So half will be 45 degrees. Another half will be 22.5 degrees. And here will be 45 plus 22.5. Okay, 45 plus 22.5, and that will give you 67.5 degrees. So now let's mark out. First, you must remember that we are supposed to draw flip. We are supposed to flip. So you will mark out the minimum. Minimum 0, maximum 0, and then minimum. So the first point is minimum. It go up to 0, the new 0 at 22.5. So it will be here. It go up to the maximum at 45 degrees. It come down to 0 at 67.5, and it come down to 1, the minimum, at 90 degrees. So this is 1 cycle. So you will draw this. Draw up. So this is 1 cycle. We are supposed to duplicate this. This is supposed to be 4. And we already know one interval is 22.5. So it will just be 90 plus 22.5, and that will give us 112.5 plus 22.5, 135 plus 22.5, 157.5, and plus another 22.5. Of course, this one must give you 180 already. Then mark out again. From 0, it go up to the minimum, go up to the 0, go up to the maximum, come down to the 0, come back to the minimum. Yes, then we are again draw the other cycle. So we're going to repeat again. So mark out 1, 2, 3, and then 4. This will be 270. So 180 plus 22.5, 202.5, 225, 247.5. Same thing, go up to maximum at 225, come down to the 0 at 247, come down to here. Okay, so let's draw up. One last cycle to go. Okay, one last cycle to go. So I will have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I need to extend a bit. This is my x. So this will be 270 plus 90, so it's 360. So we have 270 plus 22.5, 292.5, 315, 337.5. And of course, just to double check, plus 22.5 must give me 360. So now go here, here, and here, come back to 0 and come back to the minimum. And we are done. Lastly, label, this is y is equals to 3 minus 2 cosine 4x, and this is y-axis. Okay? So, no issue, all good. Okay, we're going to do one more sine graph, and then we will start drawing tangent graph. Where is the other one? Okay, so now let's take a look at, where is the shape? Wait, give me a moment, let me find first. Found it. Here. So this is a real life, okay, real world context, whereby they apply sine graph to real life, real world context. So they say that the height of the type above mean sea level, so they say H represent the height above the mean sea level. Okay, it's on the 17th July. Okay, it's modeled by this graph. Then they say that T is the number of hours after midnight. T is the number of hours after midnight. Okay, so the graph of blah 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 is shown below. Okay, 24 means is 24 hours. So their one cycle is using 12 hours. Okay, you can see that one cycle is 12 hours. So now the question is, how are you going to find the A, B, and C? Okay, a lot of times students don't know how to apply it in real world context. So first ask yourself, okay, this graph, the middle line is at 0, which is the normal so-called x-axis. For this case, of course, is t-axis. So it means that there is no shift at all, correct or not? There is no shift at all. So if there's no shift at all, that means my C is 0. Okay, so I know my C is 0 because there is no shift at all. Now let me look at my maximum and minimum. My maximum is 3, my minimum is -3. It means that my so-called thickness of the graph is 3. Means my amplitude is 3. So that means A is 3. Okay, so usually the shift and amplitude is quite easy. Now the question is, which part? Which part you need me to explain again? Please be specific. Okay, there is no shift because my x-axis is my so-called the middle, the 0. So there is no shift. So my C is 0. A is the amplitude. And you can see that the maximum is 3, minimum is minus 3. Means the thickness is 3 and 3. So my amplitude is 3. So I need to find out what is my B. Okay, so look at one cycle. Okay, so one cycle you can see that it is 12. It is 12, which is 12. So let's take a look. So my period, I know it is 12 because one cycle is 12. And how we do our formula to find the period? Work backwards. 2 pi divided by the B. Agree? So it means 2 pi divided by B will actually give me 12. Agree? So 2 pi divided by B will actually give me 12. So it becomes an equation solving B. So cross multiply 12B equals to 2 pi. B equals to 2 pi divided by 12. So B is equals to pi over 6. So I solve. My C is 0, my A is 3, and my B is pi over 6. So now the full graph function will be H is equals to 3 sine pi over 6t plus 0. But of course we don't have to write the 0, so it's just 3 sine pi over 6t. Okay, I don't need to write this one, this is not the answer. They ask for ABC. They ask to state the value for ABC. This is AMath Trigo. It's not in normal tech question. Okay, let's move on. So with this, they're going to ask you a few questions. First, they ask, what is the maximum height of the type above the mean sea level? So you know that on this graph, you see that the maximum is 3. So actually it's very easy, it's just 3. So you will just say the maximum height is equals to 3 meter. Okay, so maximum height is 3 meter. Let's find the height of the type above the, this is tricky. Okay, the last part 3 and part 4, many students will not know how to do. So open up your ears and listen clearly. Because most students know how to solve the Trigo equation, know how to solve the find over. But then when they apply to real context, they don't know how to solve it. First, they ask, find the height of the type above sea level at 4 p.m. Okay, so many students, common mistake is they say 4 p.m. right? Okay, they need to go to the 4, right? Okay, they say 4 p.m. which is here. But you need to know that 4 p.m. is not 4 here. See here, T is the number of hours after midnight. After midnight. So over here, 4 represent 4 a.m. It doesn't represent 4 p.m. So if they ask for 4 p.m., means that you have to use the 24 hours. Agree or not? So you will take 4 plus 12, which is 16. Understand? This is p.m. So this is not 4, but 4 plus 12, which is 16. So we are talking about T equals to 16. So you're supposed to sub in T equals to 16. So just now our H is equals to 3 sine pi over 6 times 16. Okay, and you will get 3 sine 16 over, I think 16 over 6 is 8 over 3. So it's actually 8 pi over 3. Okay, let me see 8 pi over 3 is what value? 8 times 180 divided by 3. So it's 480. So in terms of, because I need to leave my answer in terms of surds, that's why I want to find out what is the basic angle. Okay, I'm trying to find out what is the basic angle. So what I did was, see here, I'm going to use red color to put at the side. What I did was 8 pi over 3, I'm going to convert it to degree. So you times 180 over pi, and you see that it is 480 degree. So now I want to find out what is sine 480 degree. And 480 degree, Trigo graph is learned in Sec 3. Most students learn in Sec 3, but of course some school also teach during Sec 4. Okay, but it's definitely in secondary school AMath. Okay, so since this is out of 360 degree, I'm going to minus it by 1 round. So this is the same as sine 480 minus 360, which is 120 degree. Okay, what I did was I just minus 1 cycle lah. That means 360. So sine 480 is the same as sine 120. And sine 120, because it go to the second quadrant, it is also equals to sine 60 degree, because the basic angle is 60 degree. And second quadrant, okay, second quadrant is positive, so I don't have to put minus. And what is my sine 60? Sine 60 is exact form, which wait, let me change mine. So sine 60 will give me square root 3 over 2. So you know this is square root 3 over 2. So come back to here, you will know that this is actually 3 multiplied by square root 3 over 2, which will give you 3 square root 3 over 2 meter. Done. See this? Okay. So what I did was I want to find the exact height. I don't put in decimal. So what I did was I need to find out what is my 8 pi over 3. Sine 120 is sine 60 because of the second quadrant. I'll put it here. Okay, sine 120, where is your 120? 120 goes to the second quadrant. Correct? This is 120. And what is the basic angle? The basic angle is 60 degree. And we know that or STC. In the second quadrant, sine is positive. And that is why sine 120 is the same as sine 60 degree. Their Trigo ratio is the same. Sine 120 is equals to sine 60. Why is it equals to sine 60? Is because the basic angle is 60 degree. 120 goes to the second quadrant. It gives us a basic angle 60 degree. So the Trigo ratio is the same as sine 60. And because at the second quadrant it is also positive, and that's why they are the same. I don't have to put negative or what. Okay? Okay, now next question IB. This is a tough one. Okay? Okay, I'm going to write it behind. So this one, right, I see behind. I write it on foolscap. Okay, this one, they will ask you, okay, a ship can cross the harbor when the tide is 2 meters above the mean sea level. When will the crossing be possible on 17 July? So actually what they're asking you to find is, you are supposed to find 2 meters. So of course we cannot use the graph. What's the meaning is, you're supposed to go here, 2, draw horizontal line and find out what is the time. Okay, then they mention that they only want, okay, they need to know what is the crossing be possible. So let's sub in our h equals to 2. So let's sub in our h equals to 2. Give me a moment. Okay. So we will write my h is equals to 3 sine pi over 60. Okay. So I'm supposed to sub in h equals to 2. So it becomes 2 equals to 3 sine pi over 6t. So you're supposed to solve the t. Okay? So now I'm going to put sine pi over 6t is equals to 2/3. So take note that this is first and second quadrant. First and second quadrant. And let's find out what is our the range. Our range is, let's see, my t is supposed to be from 0 to 24. This one is pi over 6t. So pi over 6t will be 0 to 24 times pi over 6. Take 24, multiply by pi over 6. So it will give us 12.566. So let's find our basic angle. Basic angle will be equals to sine inverse 2/3. So I have to be in radian mode. Radian sine inverse 2 over 3. And that will give us 0.729727. So if it's sine 130, it will be sine 50. Yes, correct. Because the basic angle is 50. Okay, not so sure who is the boring person. If you don't want to learn here, you can just exit. Can you please block this person? Okay, so basic angle is this. So our first quadrant and second quadrant, pi over 6t will be equals to first quadrant, which is 0.729727. The second one is pi minus the basic. So it's pi minus 0.729727, and that will give us pi minus answer. So it will be 2.411864. And don't forget, because you see that my pi over 6, I actually have up to 12.566. So I need to add 2 pi plus 2 pi. So take this value, 0.729727 plus 2 pi. I will have 7.01291. And another one is this one plus 2 pi. So 2.411864 plus 2 pi will give me 8.69504. Okay, all these value from 0.729 up to 8.6 is still within this range. So I want to include them. Okay, if I'm going to add another 2 pi, it will be out of the range. So I don't have to do so many already. So now I have 4 answers here. I want to find my t. So all 4 of them must divide by pi over 6. So I'm start from the behind one, divided by pi over 6. And that will give us 16.6063. Okay, and over here, this one, 7.01291 divided by pi over 6. I have 13.3936. 2.411864 divided by pi over 6, I get 4.60632, and this one 0.729727 divided by pi over 6, I get 1.39367. Let's round it off to 3SF. So I have 1.39, 4.61, and 13.4 and 16.6, sorry. Okay, one thing I need to highlight, very important, is common student ask, okay, this one they will say that, oh, okay, it means it's 1:39 p.m., 4:61, but it is not correct, because you must remember that they mentioned that T is the number of hours after midnight. It's the hours, it's not the time yet. So you need to go and find out that this 0.39 hours is how many minutes. So you must write here 1.39 hours is actually equals to, is basic angle the same as reference angle? Yes, basic angle is the same as reference angle. 1 hour, and then this 0.39, you will have to take 0.39 times 60. So it's actually 23.4. So it's 23. Okay, I need to use this one to multiply. 0.39367 times 60. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I need to use the long one to go and find out. So it's supposed to use, okay, let's not round off. Use the long one, 367. Then I will have 23.6. So in this case, this will be 1. Sine, tangent, cosine, inverse number. That number must be positive. Yes. Be it whether your this one is positive or negative, when you want to find the reference, the angle inside here is always put positive. Okay, you cannot put a negative here, because if you put a negative, you will not get the basic or reference. Okay, so this one, if I'm going to round off, this will be 1:24 a.m. Okay, this will be 1:24 a.m. Now this one, 4.60632 is 4 hour, and we're going to take 0.60632 times 60, and that will give us 36.37. So this one you round off, it will be 4:36 a.m. Now this one, this is 13.3936. Okay, this will be at 13 hours, and same thing, it will be 23.6. So this is 13 hour, change to PM, it will be 1 PM. So it's 1.24 PM. Last one, so this will be 16.6063, which is equals to 16 hour and 36.37. So this is actually equals to 4.36 PM. So it means that see, if I'm going to plot the horizontal line here, okay, let me just show you what it means It means 2, and then after that you draw the dotted dot. They are actually trying to find out what is the time here and what is the time here. Question mark, question mark, question mark, and question mark. So I already found that this is 1:24 PM and 4:36 AM. Again, 1:24 PM and 4:36 PM. So this is the time range whereby it will be above 2. Agree now? So when will the crossing be? It will be, so you will say that therefore crossing is possible, okay, at 1:24 AM to 4:36 AM and 1:24 PM to 4:36 PM. Because they say that the ship can cross the harbor only when the tide is above 2 meters. So when will the crossing be possible? Okay, so we have calculated that between this time range, it will be above 2. Okay, between these two time frame, it will be above 2. So this is what it means. Understand? So this is for question 2. Question 2 IV. Okay, So we are done with sine graph, cosine graph. Let's go to tangent graph. Okay, we're going to draw tangent graph. A lot of students don't know how to draw tangent graph, so I'm going to do it together with you. Okay, so help me to like and share. Okay. Graph keep missing. Found it. Yeah. Okay, this is I believe this is Singapore O-level syllabus, Sec 3, Sec 4 additional mathematics. Okay, before I start to talk about this one, let's talk about the normal tangent graph first. Normal tangent graph. Okay, our tangent graph. Y equals to tangent x. Okay, this is slightly different from sine graph and cosine graph. Take note. First, of course, I'm going to write y equals to a tangent bx plus c. Okay, first, our amplitude. Same thing, the amplitude is a. This one no difference with our sine graph and cosine graph. The period got changed. Period is no longer 360 divided by b. For tangent graph, it's different. It will be 180 degree divided by b, or pi divided by b. And there is a shift as well. But the good news is shift is also c. The good news is they will not ask you to plot graph for shift for tangent graph. Okay. But there is a chance that they will ask, like for this one, later we do this question. You see that this graph is shifted, but they never ask you to plot. Okay, they just want you to find out what is the ABC. We will do that later. So in this case, our amplitude for this case, of course, is 1. Okay, our period for this case is take 180 degree divided by 1, which is 180. And the shift for this case is nothing, so it's just 0. Okay, so now we are ready to plot tangent graph. Okay. So first, let's draw our x-axis as well as our y-axis. One period is 180 degree. Okay, let's assuming that they want me to draw from x to 0 to 360 degrees. So I need to draw 2 cycles. Okay, so you need to plot 180 first. So later I'll draw 2 cycles, right? So I'm going to mark out this is 180 degree. Draw half, 90. Take note that for tangent, you no need to cut into 4 parts. You only need to cut into 2 parts. Only cut into 2 parts. Then, after that, at the 90 degree, one cycle is 180. At the 90 degree, you're going to draw dotted line. Dotted line. That's your asymptote. Dotted line. Then, you need to draw the tangent graph. So, it starts from 0. It go up, just go up like that, and it will not touch this dotted line. Go very close, but it will not touch. It will not touch. That's called a asymptote. Over here, it will be from here, you're going to draw down, and same thing, it will not touch. So that's all. This is one cycle. But of course, you need to do one more thing. From the 90 degree, you cut another half, which is 45 degree for this case. You will draw dotted line up, and this value will be your amplitude. 1. Because my amplitude is 1. So this is how you draw for one cycle for tangent graph. Understand? First, you will have an asymptote. Draw these two curves, and that two curves touch the asymptote very close but doesn't cut through. Okay, and then at the asymptote, you cut half, which is 45 degrees, dot, 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 up, and cross over. That will be your amplitude. So in other words, if today the tangent graph become y equals to 2 tangent x, your amplitude is 2, right? So it means that everything is the same except that this 1, you will change it to 2. Understand? So this is how you draw tangent graph. But we are not done. I'm supposed to draw up to 360, right? So now we know that our next asymptote will be at 270. And then here will be 360. So my next asymptote will be at 270. So just draw the asymptote. Same thing, draw this one and draw this one. So it will be here, go up, very close but doesn't cut. Okay, over here, I will draw down, very close but doesn't cut. And we are done. So this is our tangent graph. And lastly, label this and say that this is y equals to tangent x. This is x. Okay, so this is how you draw tangent graph. I repeat, amplitude, you have to state from here, from the first asymptote, cut half, dot, 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 up, that will be your amplitude. There's no shift for this case, so the x-axis is my 0. Okay? Okay, now let's move on to this question here. This one is a shifted tangent graph. So your task is to find out what is the A, B, and C. So just now we draw the original, right? So now you compare. You compare this graph and this graph. Of course, this one they go and draw the negative side. But let's say we look at this one. Okay, we don't look at the left-hand side. We compare with this one. So how to know the shift? Very easy. You see this one start from 0. So look at the graph. It start from 3. It start from 3. So it means that the graph was shifted up by 3. Agree or not? Okay, it's supposed to start from 0, go up. But this one start from 3, then go up. So it means that the graph was shifted up by 3. So this one is easy. It means that my part 1, the C is 3. My graph is shifted up by 3. Okay, next, the B. B will be the this one inside. So let's find out where is the one cycle. Let's find out where is the one cycle. So you know that one cycle looks like this. Your one cycle consists of this and this. Correct? So let's go to here and find out where is that shape here. Okay? So it's the same as talking about these two. So you can see that from minus pi over 2 to 0, from here to here, you can see that this is pi over 2. From here to here, this is also pi over 2. So this is one cycle. So one cycle is pi over 2 plus pi over 2, which is pi. So you know that actually your one cycle, the period is actually pi. So you work backwards, work backwards. So we know that 2 pi divided by, sorry, not 2 pi, for tangent is pi. So pi divided by b actually give me pi. So it means that pi b is equals to pi, b equals to 1. Okay, so b is 1. Next, the A, the amplitude. So where do I see my amplitude? Remember, I said, okay, see this, okay, see the normal one. From here, the 0, and then after that, the 45 degree go up is 1, right? So we can see that the amplitude is 1. Now look at here. This is the first asymptote. First asymptote, right? You see half of it, you go up to 5. Do you see that it said 5 here? This is 3, this is 5. So what is the difference? 2. So the amplitude is actually 2. Understand? The amplitude is 2. So we know that the amplitude for this case is actually 5 minus 3. So it's 2. And since amplitude is 2, means that the A is equals to 2. Okay? All good? So this is how you identify what is the period, what is the shift, and then what is the amplitude. Okay, let's move on to the last question for the day, which is to plot y equals to tangent 3x. Okay, so we are supposed to draw for y equals to tangent 3x. Same thing. Okay, this one, why did I never put the range? Okay, let's assume that I want to draw up to 180 degree. So I want to draw from 0 to 180 degree. So let's start and find out what's my amplitude. My amplitude is equals to 1. My period will be take 180 degree divided by 3, which is 60 degree. My shift is equals to 0. Okay, my shift is equals to 0. So now we need to know, I need to draw how many cycles. They ask me to draw from 0 to 180. Means that 180 divided by 60, I need to draw 3 cycles. I need to draw 3 cycles. So let's draw our axis first. No, I only teach Sec 1 to Sec 5. I'm not teaching P5 fraction, sorry. So we always draw one cycle at a time. Okay, so I know I draw 60 first, 60 and 60. So later I can have more space. So let's mark out this is 60. This is my first cycle, 60 degree. For tangent graph, very easy, cut half only. So I'll go to 30 degree. And 30 degree will be my first asymptote. So draw the vertical dotted line. Okay. Then after that, draw the two curves. So it starts from 0, it go up, very close but doesn't cut. Then after that, from 60, draw down again, very close but doesn't cut. So I'm done with the first cycle. And don't forget to show where's the amplitude, right? So the amplitude will be the first asymptote, then after that cut half. So it will be at 15 degree. And dot 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 over. So that will give us amplitude 1. So we are done with the first cycle. Don't forget I'm supposed to draw 180. So since I already know my interval is 30, so you will go 30, which is 90. This will be my second asymptote. And then after that, this will be my 90 plus 30, 120. So draw our second asymptote. Okay, again, from 0, draw up. So from 0, draw up. And then from here, draw down. Okay. Next, 120 plus 30. So it will be 150. That will be my third asymptote. 150 plus 30, which is 180. And that will be the end of my last third cycle. Actually, don't need so long. So in the end, here will be x. So third asymptote, 150. So from here, draw up. Yeah. Draw too many graphs today until my hands shake. Okay, and we are done. Okay, so this will be the graph for y equals to tangent 3x. Can? I hope today you are able to plot sine graph, cosine graph, tangent graph, be it whether whatever shift or whatever period or whatever amplitude is it. So all good.